Hi traders, and welcome to Trading Talk episode 106. My name's Matt and I'm one of the senior traders here at TradeView. In today's episode, I'm going to be showing traders exactly how to use and test using Kevin Davey's indicator. Absolute legendary trader. He attended and presented at last week's webinar, and he shared his 5 favorite entry techniques. And lucky attendees of the webinar actually got to take home his indicator absolutely for free. The indicator is still available for people who want to be able to access it, and then if you watch today's Trading Talk episode, you're going to know how to build it into a fully automated system, do your own testing, and find out what works for you and also what doesn't through the testing. Also want to make mention to the Algo Trading Conference 2019. We had the privilege of Kevin joining us last year, and he did a superb job, and I'm absolutely loving his stuff, which he's been able to share with traders on a weekly basis as well. Want to be able to mention Dr. Ernie Chan. He's going to feature in this week's episode because I've got a question about him. And those who get back to me by the end of today, or I'm going to give the very latest of Monday, you can pop through our live chat or come onto the Algo Conference website or even give us a call. Anyone who can tell me what year did Dr. Ernie Chan found and launch QTS Capital Management, is the current fund which he is a managing member of. What year was that fund launched? Anyone who can get back to me with the answer is going to be eligible for a very nice discount on the Algo Trading Conference ticket for 2019. So certainly do your own research, and I look forward to hearing all your responses very, very shortly. The trading competition is still live, up and running. We've still got Horvat at the top of the leaderboard. He's absolutely killing the game, so fair play, and he's not got too much longer to wait until he can walk away with the spin prize. But there's also some familiar names on the top 5 as well. So some guys I can see are playing out for the marathon and in for the long run. Some people are looking for that elusive sprint championship prize. Of course, the marathon winner does actually get their hands on a free conference ticket. I know I'm talking about discounts here, but people who actually enter the competition get a chance of winning a free ticket and flights and accommodation. You can't get much better. And I'll wrap that up on today on that note. That's Trading Talk episode 106. I look forward to everyone being able to build and develop the model around Kevin Davey's indicator. Really cool stuff. I look forward to hearing from you all soon, and I'll speak to you in another episode.
Hi traders, and welcome to Trading Talk episode 106. Before I get started with today's episode, I just have to relay the risk warning, which, as you've seen it before, a summary is that this presentation is provided for information purposes only and therefore should not be regarded as financial product advice. Also, I want to make reference to the fact that all performance or any testing that is shown in this episode is again hypothetical, and simulated results do not represent actual trading. Alright, let's get stuck into today's episode. So what I'm going to be doing in today's episode, you've got myself, Matt again, one of the senior traders here at TradeView. I'm going to be showing you how to use Kevin Davey's indicator. Now, for those lucky enough to attend or even grab the indicator from Kevin, I believe it was last week, in the webinar which we did where he had a special event with us. He showed his 5 favorite entries, and we actually gave away the indicator for this absolutely for free. For those who were lucky enough to attend the webinar. So what I want to show people in this episode is essentially how to use this indicator. So how it's useful, the indicator itself, again, it's just an indicator, but it shows Kevin's 5 favorite entries. So what you're going to be able to do after following this episode, you're going to be able to test Kevin's 5 favorite entries using the indicator which TradeView has actually built custom for his needs. And that's going to allow you to find the entry or the technique which suits your own trading. Again, what you're going to be able to then do is use it as a base, which we can then apply with other functions and techniques learned in prior episodes or episodes which are going to follow this. So I've got some very simple trade management in here. I'm not even going to be showing any testing results. I purely wanted to be able to show people how this indicator can be actually referenced and used inside MT4. And do remember, like I've touched on, it's never just the technical indicator, it is the techniques used. Alright, so without further ado, I'm actually going to dive immediately into EA Lab, which I'll pull open here. I've titled this Trading Talk 106 using Kevin Davey's indicator. Quite simple. Alright, so for those who have already got access to this, you'll find it inside, you'll find the actual indicator inside 1-day courses, and that should be switched on for yourself. If it isn't, then you're just going to have to send a request through to myself or one of the guys here, and we'll get that looked after for you. So first things first, we're going to grab the if and do. We're going to say if the count current symbol long orders equals 0, so I'm just going to allow one trade at a time to be open. And then watch closely, because this is how we correctly reference Kevin's specific indicator here and the parameters which are needed, and I'll explain some stuff here too. So with this one, we're going to get the custom block because it's a custom indicator. We're going to say TVI underscore entries because that's the exact name of this indicator, so no spaces like that, you know, no brackets. It's got to be referenced word for word, symbol for symbol, space for space. Alright, so we've got the custom block, name, TVI entries, parameters. Alright, follow closely guys. So first things first, here's what we need to reference. We can either do 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 for this first parameter, and I'll go to MT4 and explain why and how. So for now, the one I'm going to use today is 5, and then we're going to go 5, 5, 20, 50, 14, 0.25, deep sky blue, fire brick. Enter. Mode 0 shift 1 equals 1. So the equals 1 means it's a bullish signal. So let me get that out. And then we can say buy. Alright, so this is the build. I'm going to explain and go into MT4 in a second. I'm going to set the stop loss points and take profit to 0 because my trade management is as soon as their opposite signal occurs. So as soon as we get a short signal, which is what this is saying here, then close the order. I'm going to duplicate my buy logic, so I just right click and press duplicate. I'll pop that underneath here because it's a separate bit of logic. I'm going to select all the short orders now. Only thing I need to change here is that to -1, which is a bullish signal. And then also, of course, I need to get a sell block out of here. So I'll sell, I'll put that as 0, and I'll change that to points and flip that around to long. So that's essentially the actual base of this model. I just wanted to show you how to correctly reference this. I'm going to go to MT4 now because what I want to do is essentially I want to explain what these parameters are referencing and also what you can do with the indicator. So here in my MT4, what I've done already, I've already installed the indicator inside the indicators folder, inside open data folder, MQL4 in indicators. So you'll see that in here, TVI entries. And then also what we can see in here, I'll just make sure it's in the indicators. If it's not, then you just need to right click and hit refresh, so then that will be in there, and then I drag that onto the screen. So first things first, what I've done here, once you drag it on, you'll get this box which opens up for yourself. We'll need to make sure allow DLL imports are ticked as well, and then we're going to go to inputs and we're going to look at entry technique. So this is the important box here, because this is where we just referenced the parameters inside EA Lab. If you remember, these numbers look familiar apart from these ones. So what I was doing in EA Lab, I actually put 5 first. So I'll just pull up an EA Lab again. Give me one moment. So this number 5, alright, that's directly referencing which entry technique you're going to use. So what you could do inside EA Lab is actually make 5 versions of the model, and with number 1 here. So you've got 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. In today's example, I'm using the ADX one, which was number 5 in fact. So let's pull up in this again. So we can see here this is number 5. But you could do the moving average crossover, the higher highs, the 4-bar pattern reversal, or the closing prices higher or lower. Very simple stuff. And then also in here we've got the ADX period, which we've already referenced inside EA Lab as well. If I just pull up on that again, we'll see 14 there, so that's the ADX period already referenced for yourselves. So you'll see that there, that'll come through. Alright guys, so what I'm going to be able to show you now essentially is how to install the indicator onto a chart. So all I did, I got the TVI entries, I put it onto the actual chart itself, and then essentially you can set which color scheme you want and it'll actually change the background. So if I wanted the higher highs like that, it's going to change the color, because the one I had on before was actually the number 5, which I was going to do the test today. So if we go on ADX indicates trend, that's the one I'd select. But again, just going back to EA Lab again, if you want to test the different numbers, the different techniques, you're going to have to also edit this inside EA Lab. So that would need to be a number 1 if you wanted to test the first higher highs technique. As such, I've tested the number 5, so we'll go back into EA Lab again, and then we can see in here we've got the number 5 selected. Okay, right click, template, save template, tester, we'll save that, and then let's make sure by ticking visual mode we're going to run through a test. I'm not expecting any results here, I'm just purely want to see it on a visual mode. So let's hit start, let's tick use date from this year, close down that. Alright, let's have a look here. Alright, let's just make sure that that's working, so we'll press pause. So essentially what the indicator is doing is, as was explained in the webinar for those who attended or have watched it, when the signal occurs, the bullish or the bearish, in this case we're looking for the ADX trend signal. So when the ADX gets signaled to the downside, then you'll see the red bars which will pop through. As soon as we get a bullish signal for the ADX, you'll see all the blue colored bars here, and that's essentially what the indicator does. And then you can of course do your own testing with this, but we can see that was quite clearly a nice trade just to start, but all these ones in and out probably just going to get chopped up in here. But at least we know it's actually working according to the correct entry technique here, which is the ADX. So we'll just run that through. Alright, we'll look like we're holding a nice one to the downside now, but all the way through here it's just been a complete chop, so not been doing very well. But it looks like we are taking the trades correctly, we're exiting correctly, which is as soon as the opposite signal occurs, then we exit the trade. So, you know, that's exactly what I was wanting to do. We were just checking to make sure we got the correct signal. Visual mode identifies we have. We can test this on literally any time frame, and we can be able to find out what products, what time frames things might work on, and then you can go back to EA Lab and add some of your own exits. I've just used when the opposite signal occurs. You might simply want to be able to use trailing stops or something of the like, one of your own techniques which you've learned from previous episodes. Just wanted to make sure everyone can understand how to use the indicator. Hopefully that's explained it, and we can look forward to seeing some great ideas from everyone. So I really like Kevin's entries. You know, I really like the ADX one. It's something I'm going to have a play with, and also like some of the price action based ones. I think number 4, if I just open it back up. I also like the closing prices higher or lower, but I'm going to do my own testing on that one as well. So hopefully everyone now understands how to actually reference this indicator inside EA Lab, and everyone can do some of their own testing. And please let me know if they've got any questions that pop up when you are doing some testing. I'll go back to my presentation because I'll show you the actual screenshot so you can see clearly the model and how it was referenced. Remember, the number 5 at the start was referenced in the 5th technique, or the 5th entry, so to speak. So if you want to be able to reference some of the other entries, then you are going to have to change the number inside here. You make sure you got your -1 for the bearish, and your bullish is a +1. Okay, and thanks all for watching. I do wish everyone all the best with their trading. Here are all my contact details. If anyone hasn't got the indicator and would like it, then please contact us, because then we can be able to organize that for yourself. I'll put the request through here, and you can have your own testing and let me know of any results or any particular technique which people find is their favorite one out of all of them. Really appreciate everyone watching this episode. I'll speak to you all in a future episode. For now, bye for now.